Can you explain all these SFAR reviews? Why do they all ignore the POF Rogue? They always compare it to the Revolution. I don't know why. You got, in life, in general, when you're buying stuff, right? You got low end, you got your medium, and you got your high end. And there's gradations between all that stuff. Now, the SFAR, which has had 1,000 videos and reviews made about it in the short time it's been out, that thing, I just looked on Gunbroker, that's going for $9.99. It's gone down already in the few months since it's been out. The Rogue has gone up in price. That's your mid-grade choice, is the Rogue. The high-grade choice that everyone compares the SFAR to. They all say, "Oh, well, it's competition. It's just like the Revolution. It's the same price, basic, or not the same price. It's the same weight. 6.9, whatever, like just under 7 pounds. It's the same weight as the Revolution DI. So that's obviously it's competition. But the Revolution's damn near $3,000, and it is. You look on Gunbroker. I literally just looked right before filming this just to make sure. Yeah, on Gunbroker, the SFAR is going for $9.99, and the Revolution is still going for like $2,800 to $2,400. Gunbroker. It depends because the Rev is also offered in 6.5 Creed, so it's got kind of a wider range of price, but it's generally like $2,300 to $2,800. The Rogue MSRP's I think for $1,800, $1,850, something like that, and it's on Gunbroker right now. I just saw, again, it varies, of course, it's Gunbroker, but generally the Rogue right now on Gunbroker is going for $2,000. It's going for over MSRP because you can't find them in stores. I got this bad girl for $1,650 on Gunbroker a year and a half ago. And at the time, when I bought this thing, I had like $4,000 as a budget. I could have got a damn SCAR if I wanted. I chose this. Why? Because it's the best option. It's the best gun. Period. Like in the world right now. So anyways, yeah, in life, you got a choice. You got your budget option, your super gooch option, and your mid-grade option. And generally, the mid-high, right, that like 70%, 75% option, that's the sweet spot. That's where you want to spend your money. Because the bottom of the barrel bullshit, that'll break. That's going to break on you. The high-end super gooch option, you're only gaining 5%, maybe 10% more performance over your mid-high option, but for like 50% more cost, right? Which is literally played out in this scenario. So if you want that, you can get it. But in this particular option, particular arena of the ultralight 308 in an AR pattern rifle, I feel the Rogue is it's better than the Revolution. It's vastly better than the SFAR that y'all are shitting yourselves over. It's just been aggravating me. Like, Military Arms Channel did this review on the SFAR, and he's the only one that actually even at least mentioned the Rogue by name, right? Like, in his SFAR review, he still mistakenly used the wrong numbers, but he was saying, like, here, the SFAR is blah, 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 and it's, whereas POF's offerings, the Revolution, and the ultralight Rogue, and then just blows past it and never mentions it again. He says, you know, the SFAR is $1,000 worth, whereas POF's offerings are $2,800. No, the Rogue is $1,800. I got it for $1,650. Now the price is gone. Now it's $2,000. You're going to be paying $2,000 now because the mid-high range. That's where you get this, right? Like this little girl is it's under construction. I'm kind of hesitant. I didn't even want to show this because I wanted to make a review of this gun, like down the road when I had it all. You know what I mean? This is kind of like someone walking in on you when you're like someone walking in on you when you're like pulling your socks on. You know what I mean? This is mid-build. You know, restless AR. You know what I'm saying? Like this is not the scope that I want to end up with. I don't have the 45 dot that I want yet. This was just to see if I liked Harris style bipods on this setup, because this is a $20 Chinesium Harris knockoff, literally just to see if I like the form factor. You know what I'm saying? And this is not. This is a Magpul hand stop. You know, I've never because this is a 25 round mag, by the way. YouTube, whoever the hell, and it's empty. All right. And cleared. You know what? Let's go ahead. So it's cleared. All right. This gun is exceptional. It's so good. Nutnfancy's video came out, and that's what's like really pushed me over the edge and made me make this video. Because I'm a patron of Nutnfancy. I've watched like all his videos. I love Nutn. I'm not bashing on him at all. Excuse me. I love Nutn. I've been watching his videos for years, and I've watched many of his videos several times over. I'm sure you have as well. Excuse me. But I was kind of compelled to make this because of his SFAR review. It's really aggravating to me that he, like so many other people, in his excuse the mower noise. It's spring here in Kentucky, and you know, everyone's out doing their stuff. I was compelled to make this video because Nutn, I feel, has kind of like contravened several of his own philosophical points when making this video. He recommended it before he ever even shot the damn thing. First of all, says that in his video. It's not that accurate. The SFAR, him and Sean were both barely able to squeeze 2 MOA out of that thing. He and Sean were both barely able to squeeze 2 MOA out of that, and he's making excuses for that. And so it's inaccurate. It's he recommended it before he even shot it. It had a I would call having to pull out your cleaning rod to knock out a piece of, I would call that a catastrophic failure. I mean, not catastrophic is the damn gun exploding in your face, but that gun is down. You're in a fight, that gun is down. You are out of the fight for 60 seconds, which is an eternity squared, right? Like that's ridiculous. Now this thing has had a couple failures, with one specific ammo. I'm going to get to that. I have targets to show you. I bought from Freedom Munitions. I bought 155 grain hollow point Botel, you know, and that ammo, that specific ammo had this habit, like once every 20 rounds, like once a box. That specific ammo had this habit of on ejection, the brass would lodge in the gate. It would just stick there, hanging out of the ejection gate. You'd have to like pull it out. It never got stuck. You'd have to pull it out and then pull back and let it chamber the round. That was with that one bullet. Every other cartridge I've shot through it has performed flawlessly, and it was all out of the same magazine also. So that was just that ammunition. Other than that, I have not had a single problem with this gun. Whereas Nutn showed on his thing, he had a crazy hard jam, and Sean had to ram out a piece of brass, like it ripped the brass in half, something or other. Anyways, that thing's gonna break. That SFAR, you clip this, man. You mark my words. That thing's a piece of shit. You can just tell they cut all the corners in the wrong spots. You know what I mean? Like that. Dude, that gun. First of all, the Rogue is a pound lighter. Do you know that? It's a pound lighter than the SFAR. This gun is 5.9 pounds. It's a 308 with a 16.5-inch barrel. And it's not all because of the stock, which is excellent. The MFT minimalist stock, I like it a lot. The MFT grip also happens to just, my finger lands right there, just where the groove is. Like, I like this grip a lot. Take a look at the SFAR's handguard. I'm not even talking about the pick. We'll get to that. But like, look at the SFAR's handguard. It's like chunks. It's like they took, you know, shears to it. That's where they got their weight savings. They just, their handguard, the SFAR is like barely there. It's fucking crazy, man. Like it's just massive, like something ate it, you know? This is not like that. And it has the full pick rail. Dude, nothing, I'm sorry, bro, but like, trying to act like, you're like, oh, it's so great, they removed capability, it's so fantastic. Dude, are you serious with this? They left, I read, they were left on the American Rifleman review, right? The one that Nutn loves so much. They left 4 segments of pick rail, which is this much, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. They left this much pick rail on the front. So I suppose you could clamp a laser on there, or you know, whatever. But if you do that, like you're gonna be holding well here first of all, you know, and so all of this, where you know goddamn well that's where you're putting your light switch. You can fucking lie to yourself, but not to me, man. You know that's where your light switch is going. Alright? I put it on the side. Alright, I'm going to also, but most of you, this is where your switch goes. And he's like, no, this is great. This is what I want for sure. I only want this little bit up here. That's all I need. Who wants this rail? You know, who wants this? Who wants rail here where you're gonna hang your offset? Oh no, it's great. There's this weight savings. This is a pound lighter. This is a pound lighter than the SFAR. Still has rail here. Still has, you know, it's not all. You're gonna burn yourself on that SFAR, man. Dude, that's the other thing, right? They're like, this POF, you can see it right here, in between that slot. You see that heat sink? Okay? You see that heat sink there? friggin' IV8888, he did a he did a burn down on a pop gun. I think it was the POF 416. It's been a long time since I watched that video. He did a burn down on a POF gun that had that heat sink nut. Bro, he on that thermal video, he put what, 200 rounds, 500 rounds in that gun. That gun barely failed, by the way. If you compare all the various burn down videos, the POF performed as good as any I've seen. And the barrel is barely hot, and the heat sink nut is fucking white hot. That thing works. This heat sink works. And why that matters is because of accuracy under sustained fire. Barrel, I'm jumping around here, but this is a medium profile barrel. It's not skinnied out. It's not pencil barrel. It's not any kind of contour. There's zero compromise. This has the same 5R rifling, same 416, whatever the fuck. It's a medium profile, mid-length, stainless match grade barrel. Okay? The barrel is the heart of the rifle, to quote Nutn. Right? The barrel is the heart of the rifle, and this barrel is exceptional. I'm going to show you, I got paper right here. I'm going to show you my accuracy, and man, I love this gun so much. I'm sad it's gone up in price, because I want to buy 3 more. Jesus. I don't get it, this Ruger bullshit. Like, dude, if I didn't know better, and I do, because he's got, a bunch of videos shitting on various Ruger products. If I didn't know better, I would swear he was, Nutn was shilling for the Ruger. I have personally corresponded with this man through messages on Patreon. I said, like a year ago, like a year and a half ago when I got this thing, I said to him, I said, Nutn, dude, are you going to do a review on the Rogue? Like, what are you waiting for, man? This is literally exactly what you asked for in your Revolution review. You said, man, make this DI and make it sub 6 pounds, and that would open heretofore unimaginable POUs, right? Here it is. This is like, this gun is 5.9 pounds. The base gun is 5.9 pounds. I'm gonna give you a brief. I'm gonna do a full video on this. It's not done. It's not done. Restless AR. You know what I mean? Like, I hate doing this video now. I don't have my can yet. I haven't settled on the bipod yet. This is just the first hand option I tried. This is a piece of shit. This is it, but it works. This is a primary arms 4-14. They don't even sell it anymore. SLX. It's like, it was 400 when I bought it. Now I think if it ever comes back in stock, it's 250. But it works just fine. Yeah, this is a 4-14, and that's where I'm going with this. Is a MPVO. I'm saving up for the. I'm debating between the Vortex 3-18 and the loopholed 5HD 3.5-18. I'll get whichever one I settle on, regardless of the dollar point. I don't really care. I want the right tool for the job, which is what this is. Which is why I bought this instead of the Revolution, instead of the SCAR. I had the money for a SCAR. I chose this. This gun has done just, it's so good. It's like, it's so fucking light. This is a 2-pound scope. This is, or damn near, rather. The Arrow ultralight mount, mag pole, hand stop. This is Chinese. It's literally like 25 bucks. Chinesium Harris knockoff. I don't remember the company. It's whatever. And the grip and the stock are what come with the gun. This is just a PMag. This is a level. Sergeant Levels. Warrior Poet sling. Because I was a tanker, and I'm kind of obsessed. I'm not obsessed, but like vehicle ops is where my mind goes. So, you know, being able to detach, that's a big priority to me. I don't want to be. All right, so the weed whackery has stopped. I know it was going on for a while. When I heard it, I stopped the video and went inside and gave it a little bit. And I realized it was going on for a little while that you could hear, but I couldn't hear it yet. The microphone on this phone is really great. Anyways, so so I refreshed my drink, and oh, okay. So I was in the middle of looking at this. Yeah. So yeah, War Poet sling. It's pretty great, honestly. I like it so far. I think I covered everything on this except for this. I'm sure you've been looking at this. So this is a Devil Dog Concept side charger, and I got it because I have very weird proportions. My body, I'm built like a dwarf. I'm all torso with with short limbs. That apparently includes my neck, right? That's why this is so far back. I know you've been sitting there, be like, why is this? Oh my God! Like it's because it's how my body is just set up, right? You know, we're all different. So you set your length to pull. That's clearly where it needs to be, right? So my length to pull is right. And when I pocket this gun, and I just let my head fall forward, this is not stretching my head and not scrunching back. When I just pocket it properly and just let my head fall down, this is exactly right where this dot is on the scope. This is exactly where the exit eye pupil is perfect, right here, which is right where my eye falls when I'm looking through this. I'm going to, whatever, that's going to be in the full review. Anyways, that's why it's there. But the side charger, it works perfectly with the Rogue. It's outstanding. I love this thing. It's also what you don't get with the SFAR. This little God Bless America and a flag here on your dust cover. I don't know if that, if that's your preference, but it's there. But it's cool, man. The yeah, any mil-spec charging handle. It fits this thing perfectly. I've put 60 rounds through the gun since getting this side charger. I got it. I had planned to get this thing even before setting this. You can see how zoomed out this is. I'm blind as a damn mole. That's why this diopter is that far out. I have like 2500 vision. But yeah, even before I realized that this is how far out this needed to be for my particular biomechanics. I'm going to say a third kind of cool, right? There's first cool, there's function, and there's second kind of cool. It just turns you're just into it, right? I'm going to say the third kind of cool is you fucking hate it. I hate the charging system on the AR platform. I fucking hate it, dude. You gotta come off. You gotta break your hand. This and that. I hate the charging system on the AR platform. But this, just side charge. It's rock and roll. No complaints. I love it so far. And it comes in, I only bought this because I measured and I knew this is what I needed. But apparently this comes in two other this is the forward. I think it's the tactical, and then there's one that's like mid or something like that, and one that's where the pick mount is all the way back here at the end. That seems like it would have less purchase, but I don't know. But it just works, and it's been great. Big fan. Big fan. Love this thing. Did you know on the Rogue you have the exact same trigger and BCG as the Revolution? That $2,800 Revolution, you have the same damn bolt and the same trigger. How is the trigger? It's the best trigger I've ever felt. And Nutn pointed out in his SFAR review that he dropped a POF trigger in the... So there's, you know, $200 of price difference evaporation. But, again, this is not a review, but... I'll do it for you. So the quickest background ever. I'm a vet. I was in the Army. I was combat arms. I was a tanker. So I was used to M4 standard mil-spec triggers. So I've never even felt a two-stage trigger in my life. They seem kind of strange to me in concept. Like there's a bunch of take-up and then a wall. Like I don't know why you would want that. That seems odd to me, particularly if you wanted to shoot fast. But that's what everyone. I'm the idiot on that. I'm ignorant on that. I've just never felt one. This is a single stage trigger, so I vibe with it. But there's like, dude, there's literally zero. There's zero take up. There is no take up, and it just. Here, I'll do it this way. There's zero take up, like you see, it's not moving at all. There's no take up. All right, I've got my finger on it, and I'm just gonna up pound by pound, right? And the reset is. It's just, it's outstanding. It's such a good trigger. It's so good. And I'm pretty sure these drop into just standard AR lowers too. So even if you don't want a Rogue, I would highly recommend a POF trigger group, man. It's very nice. They got the same safety. They're both just, you know, your standard 90-degree, you know, triggers. Safety rather. Safety on this is ambi. It's on both sides. It does not have an ambi catch or ambi release, but neither does the SFAR. This has where on the Ruger you have a friggin' like damn near the size, more than the size of this QD mount. It's a big Ruger, a giant Ruger logo right here, where this has a mount for you. If you're into that, you know. I don't use QD. I have a Q Sling Devil holding in the mount here. And on the back, I just go right to the stock. I don't use QDs, which is another reason why I have the breakaway Warpoet. QDs are super heavy. Have you ever like just held a QD? They're like 2 ounces. They're crazy. They're like, I don't know. So I actually would like to replace this plate with one of them quick clip things. Maybe swap this over to a single double. But yeah, tasteful POF USA right there on the magwell. I mean, the Ruger has that weird jagged magwell cut thing, which kind of looks cool. I'm not gonna pretend it doesn't. It kind of looks a little cool, but it also kind of looks a little try-hardy, you know, little edgy boy. That's just personal preference, I guess. The brake. Have you, dude? Look at the brake on the damn SFAR. Is like this long. It's gigantic. It's this huge 3-port friggin' muzzle brake, man. This is a POF calls it their micro B mini muzzle brake. It works. This thing doesn't beat you up. I mean, it's a lightweight 308, so it has kick. I'm not gonna say it doesn't, but like it's not, you know, it's not taking your lunch money. Like this thing works perfectly fine. My buddy, actually, my army buddy who's tried this thing out, he also says this is the best trigger he's ever felt, and he says, man, every time you shoot that thing next to me, I feel it in my stomach. So this brake works really well, and it's not, you know, friggin' 2.5, 3 inches long. This is Buffalo Trace. If you know, you know. Get some of that Kentucky in you. What else? I think I pretty much covered everything I wanted to cover. I suppose let me show you the accuracy, right? Haven't gotten there yet. Okay, so I am not a great shooter. I'm not. I'm happy to tell you. I've never done any long-range shooting in my life. In the Army, you only shoot out to 300, right? Like in boot, that's what you qualify on. You do a 25-yard zero. You do a 25-yard zero in the Army. This was back in 2007, 8, 9, 10. So maybe it's changed, but back then, you did a 25-yard zero and you qualified on a range that went out to 300. It was like 75, 125, 150, 225, and 300. I think those were the targets. Anyways, I've never shot past 300 in my life. So I am not, you know, I'm just putting this up comparing to Nutton and Sean, right? Who've done a lot of long-range shooting. Who've done much more shooting quantitatively than I have. Well, I don't know about that. Done thousands of rounds, various ranges. Dude, everyone is out mowing today. But I really like this handguard. I just got to throw that in there. I've never. My gun in Iraq was M4 plastic handguard with a M68 with a dot. You know, I tried out the ACOG. I didn't like it. I didn't like the eye box, how specific it was. So I was just plastic handguard, dot, no VG of any kind, no grip pod, none of that bullshit. I just ran it naked. Back when you know, we were trained to shoot like this, right? But I like this. I'm just kind of starting my journey of grips. What makes sense to me is actually the angled foregrip. That actually kind of makes sense to where, like, how your hand is shaped and how it goes over the gun. I think I'm going to get it angled next. But I wanted this because it would stop it at the bipod. The bipod is QD, right? This just comes right off. So that's how it looks naked, right? Hand stop. You know, it's like this length. 16.5-inch barrel. And you can see you actually have little QD points up here on the front of the barrel and on both sides of the back of the handguard and in the rear here. None in the stock. None in the stock. That might be a problem for you if you like that. But the handguard fits my hand just right. My thumb goes just perfectly on the top. Anyways, where was I? Accuracy. So what I'm saying is I don't, I'm not an expert shooter, is what I'm getting at. I have good fundamentals from Army boot camp. I have good fundamentals, good trigger, breath control, all that kind of stuff. I qualified one shot below expert. Is it? I had a 39 out of 41 or 40 out of 42, whatever it was. I have good fundamentals. I'll say that. I'll give myself credit for that. But I haven't done any long range shooting ever. So if you look at Nutton's, I guess I'll insert that here. You can see these are not good groups, right? And Nutton was shooting off a tripod, and Sean was shooting off a bench, off one of those things, you know. And they were getting like, I'm gonna call them 3-inch groups. Those were, he's being generous calling those 2-inch groups, but yeah. So that I think that was all at 100 yards. As far as I know, that was all at 100 yards. Okay. So when I was last at the range, which was last week actually, like his video came out the day before I was going to the range because I was trying to decide on what round I wanted to stockpile. And I was deciding between these three. I was deciding between M118LR from Buds, which is $3 a round! Just Winchester. $3 a round for M118LR, right? And what I had narrowed it down to was Spear Gold Dot and Hornady Black, right? Because this particular gun, according to POF's customer service, because I emailed them and I said, hey, what bullet weight do you recommend for this? I'm going to put a can on this. That's my eventual plan. I'm gonna get a can on this fucking thing, you know. So what should I be shooting? This is direct from POF's customer service. They said, well, our gun is designed, the Rogue is designed for 168 grain. Because it's a 1-in-8 twist. It likes the heavier bullets. That's why that 155 that I was shooting was having that weird thing of getting stuck in the dust cover. So 168 grain. I'm like, all right, fine. And he says, if you're going to get a can, you really want to get the Dictator, our adjustable gas block. And I will be fair. I did say earlier that Nutton had to swap out the trigger in the SFAR, right? He wanted the he put in a POF trigger, and I was like, there's your cost, you know, thing is shrinking. I will say it evens out because the SFAR comes with an adjustable gas block. I'll be fair, the Rogue does not come with an adjustable gas block, so we'll call that a wash. Better trigger in the Rogue, better adjustability in the SFAR. We'll call that a wash. Okay, so went to the range to decide on a bullet. What am I going to shoot? Now, okay, sorry, I'm not trying to blue ball you here. But I do need to. This is not an excuse, okay? But I do need. Jesus Christ, man! This is a different noise. This is not that neighbor weed whacking. That is that neighbor out on his tractor. So, oh right. So, like I said, I'm not a great shooter. Okay. I'm not a great shooter. I'm not a very experienced. I am a competent Army trained shooter, which is and I know it's cool now to shit on vets because so many guys say, as a veteran, I don't think anyone should own a you know. Roger, I'm with you. I'm with you. I hate those guys too. Okay? But to discount Army shooting training entirely is kind of silly because in boot, when you go through white phase, you're basically doing 2 weeks of 10 hours a day of rifle training. How much training have you done? Have you done that much? Were you instructed by guys that whole time? So it's a lot of training. White phase boot camp is a lot of training. Anyways, so and for Christ's sakes, Larry. And so this was at a indoor range because I don't have access to a 100-yard range. This is at a 25-yard range. And I know a lot of you think that's bullshit. I was really checking for just does it work in the gun. Because like I said, those 155 grains were jamming in this thing. So I was just going there to see, between those 3 rounds, will any of these run in my gun and not jam it? And how good is their accuracy? At 25 grain. But how good is their accuracy? At that range, okay? I mean at the range, not at the distance. At that range, at that indoor range, if you want to use a bipod, you can only use this one lane, and it has a little card table. And I use 25 round mags. And that bipod, what I'm getting at is, I was incredibly fucking uncomfortable shooting there. Like, this was my body. It was like, this is my spine, this is me shoving my neck down and tilting my head up. Alright? I was crazy uncomfortable shooting position and like shoving my glasses as far up as I can because I'm shooting like this, like trying to like got my head on there, like shooting over my glasses, you know, right? So this is me at a very uncomfortable position. So this is what I started with. I shot the M118 LR first. Okay, so this was my first group of the day. This was my warm-up group. Then I shot that. Okay? And these were 5-round groups. Right? And then I shot that. Now these are I just drew a little Sharpie in the middle. But can you, right? Okay? So that's like 3/4 of an inch. Right? So that's the M118 LR. So by then I was warmed up and I moved on to the Hornady Black. Yeah. Moved on to the Hornady Black. And I shot this. And then I shot this. Alright. Then I threw. And then I shot that. And that was pretty much like oop, there we go. That was kind of like peak. You know what I mean? And by then I was starting to really get uncomfortable. And I wanted to get out of there. So I will, to be fair to the Spear Gold Dot, I kind of wanted to get out of there at this point. I was a little, the wife had texted and I wanted to get going. Right, so So I shot that, and then I shot that, and then I shot that and threw a couple rounds, and there I was like really like, all right, I want to get the hell out of here. This stuff in the middle was just me quick firing my Glock 48 in the middle at the, because I was there, you know. But you can go back and pause and look at those. Pause and look at those if you want. What I'm getting at is it's a sub-MOA gun. I'm a terrible shooter. I'm really not good. My Army training aside, which was 15 years ago at this point, I barely shot between 2010 when I got out and 2020 when I started kind of like, you know, turning around who I was. That decade, I didn't shoot a single bullet of any gun of any kind. I didn't have any guns. I didn't do anything. So for 10 years, my skill sat completely idle, and this is just barely getting back into it. This is a sub-minute gun. So yeah, it's I mean, effectively it's twice the cost of the SFAR, but it's twice as accurate. It's got the good trigger. It's a pound lighter, you know, if that matters to you in this discussion on lightweight at 308s. If the weight actually matters to you, it's a pound lighter. It's twice as accurate. It doesn't have Roger printed on the damn handguard where a QD mount should be. It's a better gun, man. It's a stainless match grade. Barrel, medium profile barrel, not contoured, not cheated, nothing like that. The handguard isn't going to burn your hands off because all the heat's going to get trapped in the heat sink back here. This is what you want. You know, I understand that. Look, I don't know. I get that cost is a thing. All right, but this particular game, the 308 game, this is not generally for people just starting out in life. You know, you're 19, 20, you're trying to get your first rifle. Like, if you're looking at this, if you're looking at, like, not only do I want a 308, but I want a lightweight 308 that can do a scout, you know, as I call it, general special purpose, recce, scout, sapper, stoner do. You know, like, if you're looking for your one gun, and that's what this is. This is my one gun. This is my Minuteman gun. This is my GTW gun. This is my everything gun. I can do anything with this gun. Particularly when I put a 45 on this bitch, you know, for heads up, for just like, you know, getting a little froggy, like running through the forest kind of stuff, like heads up, just bang, bang, bang. This is my one gun, and this should be your one gun. The SFAR is a piece of crap, and it's gonna break because they cut corners. And they chomped out the handguard, and that tells me that they saved all their weight with shears and not with engineering, like POF did. POF saved their weight with fucking science, man, with metallurgy. Look how light this thing is. Like, this is with a 2-pound LPVO on and a damn bipod. And a side charger. This weighs fucking 5 ounces. Like, bro, you can get your SFAR if you want, you know. Or, what I would suggest, it's expensive. I'm not gonna say, look, $2 grand. God, that pisses me off. That's what they're costing now. I wanted to get 3 more of these things, and I was hoping they were still at $16.50 or less. You know, I was hoping the damn price had gone down. It's gone up. Fuck. I hadn't looked prior to this video. I didn't realize the fucking price had gone up. Look, man, layaway is a thing. All right, at a lot of gun stores. At a lot of gun stores, layaway is a thing. So, I don't know, how urgent is your need, and how long can you wait, and how much do you make, and how quickly can you get it? That's all math you need to work out for yourself. But you can. I always aim for the mid-high range. I think that's where you get your most return. I don't want to buy a gun it's going to rattle itself apart and it's going to burn my fucking hands because the handguard is barely there. Like, I don't know what POF did. I don't know how they did it, man. It's science and metallurgy. Like, I don't know. Because I don't see any, like, there's nothing this gun can't do. You need to understand that, like, you can make this your scout gun, your mountain gun, right? It's 5.9 pounds base. So you want this to be your recce scout gun. You just put an ACOG on it, basically, right? You put a one of them Vortex Scout scopes, or you just put a super lightweight magnified. You go with Colonel Cooper's philosophy, right? You leave off the side charger, and you leave off the bipod. You put on a little scope and a sling, and call it a day. Don't put anything else on it, and you got a 6-pound 308, 6.5-pound 308, right? It's your scope. 6.5-pound 308, or you turn this into a DMR, which it can do because of the stainless 5R 416, you know, medium pro, like match grade, like this barrel can support DMR rolls. So what this weight gives you, this 5.9 pound base weight gives you, what it gives you is it can flex into either roll. That's why I want 3 more of these things, because you can have one and leave it really naked, real slim, and just your scout gun, just for OP. Or you can take advantage of the weight and put a whole bunch of crap on it, right? Because you can put all the things on it that you would like to put on your DMR, because you have like 2 pounds of overflow, like 2 pounds of budget that you wouldn't have on, say, a 716, right? Your typical, like, scars are 7 pounds, right? And they're light, right? They're light. This is 5.9 pounds. So anything a SCAR can do, this can do better. This is the best gun in the world. This can do anything. Literally anything. This can do CQB. You know, believe it or not, when I was in Iraq, when I was clearing houses with my 14.5-inch M4, it never once occurred to me, oh my God, this gun is so long and unwieldy. Like, I didn't know any better because I hadn't grown up in gun culture and whatnot. That never occurred to me, not once, in all the dozens of fucking houses that I cleared in Iraq. I never once said, oh, it's so hard. Like, I'm just, like, never occurred to me that my gun was too long. Like, the gun is the gun, man, and you just do your work. So you guys thinking that you need a fucking 10.5? Like, you don't. You don't need that. It's better, sure. Yeah, it's you know, it's easier, I suppose. Changes, you know, but like you can do anything with this gun. There's nothing you can't do. Literally nothing you can't do. You can do CQB with this. You can clear with a 16-inch barrel. And this will reach out to 1,000 yards. So you get your SFAR if you want. I'm staying with my Rogue. I'm going to get 3 more of these things. And I guess that's it.